Well, very excited to find out. We found out yesterday we're going to be a host, and of course today now we know who's coming here, and it's an exciting time of the year. Proud of our guys, the way we played down the stretch. Just heard Walt talking about how we're going into the regional, probably a little bit different mindset, feeling as a team going into this regional than last year. We kind of limped into it a little bit. I think we're playing some of our best baseball right now. I like where our team's mindset is. I really think we could have won the ACC championship. It's just unfortunate we had to play 4 days in a row there, playing Thursday, Friday, set that up for that. But he kind of just ran out of gas there. Certainly we had guys not available to pitch in yesterday's game. If we did, I liked our chances of winning it. Even though Clemson was the hottest team in the country, as everybody has said, we beat the #1 team in the country, and we hadn't lost many games after having a lead in the 7th inning. So I liked our chances, but it is what it is. Disappointing. Our goal is to get to Omaha and win national championship, but along the way there are other goals, and we definitely had one of going into the ACC tournament and playing well. I think we made an emphasis on that this year because we haven't, and our guys did. We played really, really well. So looking forward to opening up the regionals here, and coaches are all gathering as much information as they can, certainly on Maine, but the other schools too as well. You got 3 other schools here, so we're excited.
Your initial reaction, Gino, when you saw the field just now on TV?
Yeah, well, I kind of already knew, so it's
Right.
not a surprise to me. I kind of heard. Coaches sometimes find out beforehand, so. But I don't know much about the team, Susan, so I can't tell you much on that end. But whoever's coming here, you're excited. Now you got to start looking at matchups and seeing what teams' strengths are, weaknesses, and what they do, and hopefully our strengths match up well to them. But at the end of the day, playing good baseball, playing baseball the way we're playing, usually takes care of everything. Even against the best teams, which was good. We got to play really, really good teams. I mean, NC State and Duke are very, very good teams. Wake has been the #1 team in the country the second half of the season, and Clemson's the hottest team in the country. And like I said, we were in a good place there towards the end of the game. We just kind of let it get away from us. But so you got to play good baseball. Doesn't matter who you're playing in the regional. Got to play good baseball. If you don't, you're not going to play very long.
Do you know what time your game is on Friday?
I don't. I'm not sure when they make those announcements, if they come out today, later today, or tomorrow, but I do not know.
Gino, what did you learn from your team from the ACC tournament?
I'm not sure I learned more than what I already knew, but the game against Wake was probably one of the better games we played all year. I mean, we just played really, really well. Very inspiring baseball. Our guys were not intimidated at all. We took it to them, and we kind of handled them in that game. And they threw their two of their top 3 starters, by the way. We're throwing our whole bullpen, which is kind of unique. We've been doing that all year. Gage has been our ace, and then we've kind of used different guys. Rosario has started, but he didn't even start that game. We threw Ligon, who hadn't pitched, but 2 games minimal in the last 2-3 months. So it's amazing. Our team. What I've learned, not over the weekend or in the ACC, but just very resilient. I love the fight in our team. Think about all the games we've come back and won. Think about what we did to Duke here in our weekend series. And then again, up there in the ACC tournament, coming from behind in so many games. The team's got that, never say die attitude, which is great to have.
What do you think about Carson's performance, and how confident do you feel about him pitching in the NCAA tournament?
I'm very confident in him. Carson, I think, is in a good place mentally. It's a tough thing when your arm doesn't feel right. It's tough being a pitcher and you're just not coming out the way you want to, and you're not feeling right. The most important thing he told me is he feels really good. He felt really good. He wanted to keep going, but we had it was kind of a process to this. The ball came out of his hand good. He had a lot more movement than he normally would, but that's kind of only hadn't thrown quite a bit in a while. The rotation on his breaking ball was excellent. His changeup was okay, but again, for the first time throwing in that long a period of time being away, I thought he threw really, really good. The velocity was maybe a mile an hour or two off, which was good. He's only going to get better. So we're excited certainly to have him back.
How did and now, a couple days later or whatever, how's he feeling?
Great. He feels excellent.
He can go in the regionals if
He will go in the regional. Absolutely.
You've been here for a long time as a coach, as a assistant coach, as a player. That game against Wake Forest and the two against Florida, have you ever seen a Miami team play that well defensively?
No. Yeah, we could have had about 4 or 5 top 10 plays in that one there. I know Jacoby seemed to be the one, but Zach ended the game, that being in the outfield. Jacoby made another one early in the game where he dove coming in, but he had a bad jump, actually, went back. But the infield, Yo-Yo made a couple of plays. I don't recall too many plays where you go 6 to 5 to 3 double play. And Yo-Yo made it look so easy, Dom and Yo-Yo. And of course the play Yo-Yo made in the 9th inning down the line made that look easy. He made a play yesterday. It was unbelievable too that I forgot to mention to the guys afterward. But our infield our defense might be the most consistent thing we've had all year. I know home run ball's been a lot of talk about that, but our defense, we're fielding just a tick under 980. And having Jacoby out in center field now, he's been playing out there, changes that dynamic. He's excellent in the outfield. He's made a lot of better catches than the one he made against North Carolina at practices in MVP. A lot. So that's not surprising to anyone that he made that catch. But so that I would say, that's one of the better all-around games that we've played I can recall. It just the magnitude, the team we're facing, offensively, defensively, all those things was a great game.
you're not a national seed, right on the bubble.
Yeah.
What kind of difference does that make, and why do you feel confident if you guys get out of here?
It won't mean anything unless you win the regional. It doesn't mean anything. We were a national seed last year and we didn't even get to it, so it doesn't mean anything. Who knows? The regionals, nobody can predict what's going to happen. Our job is to take care of business first game and make sure we're ready to play. We obviously want to win the regional and move on. You never know what can happen. Once you move on, somebody can get upset and out of the bracket and end up coming here. We can get upset and not have to worry about anything. So I think it doesn't do us any good to think ahead like that. We've come a long way, being a 9 seed. Last year a 6 national seed, now a 9 seed. We were very close. Arguably could have gotten into that picture, but I think if we would have won yesterday, probably would have. But the sacrifice of putting guys in there and putting them in danger and pitchers throwing is not worth it. So we made that decision not to have guys available. We got to be ready for this time of the year. We got to make sure guys are healthy and fresh, and so you take the good with the bad there. So it is what it is. But good baseball, playing the way I know our team's capable of playing, takes care of everything.
Pitching-wise, Alejandro Rosario's gone to the bullpen twice in the last 2 weeks. He's looked really good.
Yeah.
What have you noticed about his mentality when he comes out of the bullpen versus when he starts?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. He's done it now a few times, only a couple times, but he did a good job for us in that game against Wake. He kind of bridged that gap so we can get to the guys later in the game. 4+ innings, I believe it was, that he threw. So Alejandro's got one of those arms. His first catch of the day is 95 miles an hour. It doesn't take him any time to get loose, and he can throw back to back to back. He's just got one of those. He's just so naturally gifted that he can throw hard at all times, where some guys can throw once a week, that's it, or it takes him a long time to get loose. It does not take him very long to get loose. So it could be something that helps us. We don't know how it's going to work this weekend, if he starts or he comes out of the pen or does both. We're not sure, but that's kind of how the season's been with our pitching staff. It's been a very, very unique situation, and one that I'm sure will continue to be that way this weekend.
Do you have any philosophies of pitching in the regionals? Usually people don't throw their ace the first game.
Yeah, so it'll all depend on the matchups and all the teams. Just looking at, you got to see Maine first, and also who they're throwing. I don't know who their ace is, but you never know. You could be facing a guy that's a first, second round type guy pitcher in one of these teams. So you got to look at all those options, and then JD and I will certainly meet and talk. But there's no doubt that's a major decision in how this works and how you move forward is setting up your pitching.
Obviously, last year was a disappointing result. Could you compare the team's mindset from last year to now?
It's a more veteran team. last year's team started mostly sophomores and young guys. It was a very young team. You got a lot of these guys back. Morales, third-year guy. Patelli, third-year guy. Kafis, third-year guy. Levinson, third-year guy. He's been here 2 years, but he's a veteran guy. He's one of the captains of our team, and he's a very good one, along with Yo-Yo from the hitting side anyway. So, and then on the pitching side, we've got a lot of veterans back. It's more experienced. I think going through that last year is going to be an advantage for us, having to go through what we did in the regional. But that was a younger team last year and hadn't been in that situation really before, quite like that. And so I think that's going to help us.
You guys do great at home. Any comments on what you expect as far as the crowd goes and what you'd like to say, whatever?
Well, of course, I'd like to have it like the old days when there wasn't an open seat in this place, but times have changed, there's no doubt. But, if you're a Miami fan and love the University of Miami or just love sports in general and love baseball, I've always said there's not a better place to go. I mean, there's just not a better atmosphere. Anybody who's never been, if you have never been here before, you come here one time, and I've heard it from many people, it's the best experience I've ever had, whether it's with their kids or just an adult coming and watching the game. The atmosphere, the crowd on top of you, the music, and J-Ro, the announcer, and the food, and most importantly, how Coach Frazier used to say it, the product on the field. We play an exciting game of baseball. And these guys, college sports is always exciting to watch, and the way guys play the game. And you got it right here in this big city of Miami, in Coral Gables. It's easy to get here. It's easy to get in and out. It's an easy ticket. And, weather sometimes does play a role, obviously, and I'm sure it will again this weekend. It always does. But I hope it doesn't deter our fans from coming out and supporting our guys. We're here at home for a reason. We played well at home this year. It certainly would benefit us to have a lot of people in here making a lot of noise for us and cheering for our Canes. Our players have worked hard, and hopefully the fans will come out here and support them.
Omaha, the team hasn't been there since 2016. How important is that, or what would that be like if you could get back?
Yeah, of course, that's our goal. We're trying to get to Omaha, so that's always our goal. Very important, but again, it's a process too, Susan. I mean, from day one we talk about Omaha, but we don't talk about it every single day. It's not like we gotta go Omaha, we gotta go Omaha. Every time they break, they say Omaha, so they know about it at the end of practice. It's always about that. It's either that or family. That's the two things they say. But Omaha doesn't occur unless you take care of business, and that's supposed to. Those 25 trips to Omaha didn't just happen. You got to play good baseball. You got to be playing your best baseball at the end of the season, and I feel like we are doing that, and I'm hoping we can continue to do that.
The AC start.
Last question for you.
You threw Carlos La Liga 3 straight days.
Yep.
You threw Raven all 4 games. What's
Yep.
those two to set themselves apart and be such a key part in an Aces tournament?
Well, Leck has thrown a lot. I mean, he's had a lot of appearances for us. He's kind of been a go-to guy for us. And again, that's tough when they put us Thursday, Friday, and we knew we go through this thing. My goodness, you're going to be asking guys because we're limited. We're just limited. You got 3 guys that go down at the beginning of the season with surgeries. It makes it difficult. And then Ligon, who's been out for a while, you're going to your pen a lot. That's why it's been very unique for us and how we've had to work our pitching. Albeit Rafe went 4 days, but they were in limited roles, 6, 7 pitches one time, 4 pitches I think it was. But Rafe to me is kind of the wild card in this whole thing. One, he's left-handed, but I'm a big fan of all our guys. But Rafe can be a dominating factor, and I told JD after yesterday's game I want him to pitch more. What I mean by that is not more appearances. I want him to stay in the game more. He needs to pitch to righties. We're bringing him in, obviously, match up lefties, and we did that yesterday with their 1, 2, and 4 hitters were lefties, so we had him in that window. But he needs to stay in there. He needs to stay in there longer, not only for himself, because I think he's good enough to do that. He's a ground ball guy. He can get double plays with righties. But we need that from a pitching standpoint. We just, can't keep asking this, guys to go, so much. He's going to have to heat up some more at-bats and innings and things like that. And he has the ability to do that. So those are guys along with other guys. Ali Torres, obviously, I would say probably his velocity was down a little bit yesterday, in part because he was going 3 days in a row. So you see where I'm getting at. It was tough. That was a tough deal right there to have to go through. But he did his best. But I told him after the game, be ready because I'm going to you. I'm going to go to you again. And it could be Friday or Saturday, whatever it is. But I'm going to go back to you. And again, he's another one of our true leaders on our team. So yeah, that's just the nature of what our team, the dynamic of our team this year.
Thanks, Gino.
Okay.
Thanks, Gino.
Thanks.